Saudi become famous right now, the impact of arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo right in your country.
From the WP. So I want to ask, why did Saudi Esports organization put big interest in Mobile Legends?
So first of all, the Saudi Esports Federation and the Kingdom is interested about the esports industry and a big believer in it. As you know, when the big announcement happened, we believe that mobile gaming is huge in the future, and one of the most important things, our relationship with Moontoon proved that this investment is worth it, and hopefully we have a lot of projects with Moontoon and mobile gaming in general.
Okay, so speaking about projects, do you have a plan to make an official event in Saudi?
Of course, there is a lot of plans happening in Saudi right now. Hopefully in the next few months you will have more details and announcement about it, and you will hear great news about official offline events happening in Saudi.
Okay, so my final question would be, can you tell us how big is Mobile Legends in Saudi Arabia?
Mobile Legends is super big, especially after the MPL MENA, and especially about the Saudi players and the regional players are asking us more to do more tournaments. So we have a heavy plan for 2024 for them, and you will see it yourself with the Saudi players and regional MENA players going to the finals hopefully next year.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Faisal Bin Sports ID. So there's a lot of big event in Arab Saudi, right? Why always that big? Why?
What is it?
Why always the event in Arab Saudi is always the biggest event?
I think that esports is one of the biggest industries growing in the past few years, and I think for this reason Saudi and the Federation is a big believer in that. I think we want to do the best events, not only the biggest events. We are a qualitative driven project, and with the last 2 Gamers 8 happened, and now the announcement of the Esports World Cup, we believe that it's the right path, and we will keep growing gradually.
Okay. Can we expect the next M series in Arab Saudi?
It's something to expect. Let's see when. I think it should be there. It should be there. We are discussing, and let's hope the best time possible for it to be in Saudi.
Okay. Like we know in Arab Saudi how strong the religion, like the way of life. It's same like my country in Indonesia, but there's sometimes rejection from people, like festival or even something like that. How about the people in Arab Saudi? Is sports getting rejection?
I think, as you said, Saudi is now open country, and the mindset of people is being more open as well. I think esport now is one of the official sports in Saudi, and there is a big acceptance in it. We don't talk only to players. We talk to their families. We have a lot of grassroots with schools, universities. So I believe that there is a CSR and an awareness we need to do, and hopefully we are doing it in the right way. Thank you.
As the federation, what kind of support did you give to pro player and TV sport in the region?
There is a lot of support, but let me try to clarify it to you. We have different stakeholders. One of them is clubs, and there are players as well. So the clubs, we support them when it comes to their achievement. If they are going to play in a tournament in different country and region, we support them with that financially and logistically, and sometimes even mentally with coaches and stuff. We believe it's important to perform really well in a global tournament. But in the same time, players, we support them with different tournaments happening throughout the year. I can tell you in the Saudi E-Leagues, which is our main local IP, it's active 10 months a year with different games, and it's going to be more investing in next year. So we are trying to cover most of the things needed, but the most important thing that we always hear the players and the clubs to discuss with them what do they need support, and we try to act towards that.
But in your eyes, how big MLB will be bigger in your region for several years?
I think MLBB will be one of the biggest games in the region. It's already big, but I think since we saw MPL MENA offline event, I saw the place was full, and I expect next year we have a bigger stadiums for it. Thank you.
So, KRMN, what are the impacts of partnership with Moontoon on the Saudi Arabia esports industry?
I think we are lucky to have a publisher like Moontoon. They are supportive, they listen, the communication with them is always clear, and we always talk together how can we scale up the event together. It's not a one-way communication, it's always two-way communication. And for that, we always discuss creative ideas and new ideas together to host official events or create nations event for our community as well. And I think the impact of that gonna be really big and faster with years. And hopefully together we create new IPs. That's the goal.
How about the impacts on the community, not only the competitive parts, but the community, the media industry and the fans industry? How about that?
I think right now it started to go also from a content creation perspective. I see a lot of the influencers starting to play the game, they create a lot of content, and I saw a lot of ideas happening currently with some of the clubs in Saudi that are mainly content creation focused. It's a great game to create content around, and there is a lot of modes in it that you can do a lot of content around. Thank you.
Okay.
As a review from social media, how do you see MLBB as the future of the esport? It's a mobile game.
I think, and I've said this before, I think Mobile Legends is one of the biggest games currently, and it will be one of the top historically games in mobile and even in esports. We saw breaking record numbers this year, and I hope we break it together with them next year.
Do you think it will expand beyond the Asia Pacific?
Of course I see it.
In your region?
In my region and the other regions. Thank you.
Okay, I have one question. You know that Arab Saudi become famous right now. The impact of arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo right in your country. So how impact for this to your country, and maybe you want to attract more popular and famous player come into esport to play in Arab Saudi?
I like this question. So, in esport, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is focusing on sports in general, and one of the sports is esports. I think one of the plans in the future to have the best coaches, best players, best clubs having presence in the kingdom and in the region. So you expect your best teams here in Southeast Asia having a presence, or academies or coaches there. I see it happening, hopefully in the next few years, maybe shorter, but that's the plan.
So, how about the enthusiasm in Saudi Arabia? Can you tell me to us? Can you tell how enthusiastic is the Saudi Arabia?
Do you think I am enthusiastic?
You know, I mean in general in Saudi.
They are 100 times more than me. They're really excited about gaming and esports. I think the new generation is focusing on gaming and esports, and I think with the current project in Saudi happening, it gives them more legitimacy that this is a career. So whatever they're doing, they think that it will be great. So you will see a lot of, hopefully, names from Saudi reach the finals the next year, hopefully, or the years after.
I have a question. My name is from Malaysia. We know that esports is part of the 2030 around Saudi region. So the progress so far, in your opinion, how is it so far? And we have needed 5 years for the Saudi division. So for the next 5 years, what else in terms of esports agenda that we're gonna show to the world?
I love your question. So I think with the 2030 vision that Saudi had, we had a lot of KPIs to achieve. And most of the KPIs are achieved already. So we're trying to have more, let's say, updated KPIs, which is now harder and challenging. But I think we always say after 2030 vision, there is 2040 vision. So we always have this belief that we want to do the best for the country from all aspects. And myself, I speak about esports. I want to make Saudi Arabia the top 1 country in the world to have the best tournaments, best teams, best players, and we are working hard on this.
You said just now, just follow up question, yeah? You said just now that you have a very challenging KPI.
I'm telling you, we achieved it. We want to have another one. Yeah, so we're growing fast, and I hope that with publishers like Moontoon, we will do a lot of things together.
The one question found is like more bigger tournament that that for now?
I think there is two ways to see it. We have the competitive scene that everyone sees, but I care more about the grassroots. So we have now a lot of female players that are professional. We have a lot of new academy players. I want to invest more in them. We don't want to only focus on the top. Yes, we want to focus on both. And I think we want to reach the biggest numbers when it comes to the female players, male players, different games, and also the games that we're focusing on, MLBB. Thank you.
When we will see female players from Saudi Arabia go on the world stage?
So hopefully we are doing a lot of academic and grassroots tournament. Whenever they are ready, the stage is going to be ready for them. And hopefully by next year, the year after, you're going to see them on the regional stage maybe. Thank you.
I'm ready from Esports. I want to ask about, we know that next year is a World Cup, Esports World Cup.
Yes.
Is there any potential about Mobile Legends to become the one of the game in a World Cup Esports, in your opinion?
There is always a potential. So the World Cup gonna be around the best games in the world. So we know that MLBB is one of the best games around the world. So let's see. I think it's as an ambition, it should be there. Let's hope that we work together with Moontune to create the best product, either in the World Cup or outside the World Cup.
Okay, before you said about how important about grassroots, right? But if we can see the football Arab team, you know, how they invest, how they buy a biggest player. Is there any potential in MLBU? Maybe another team in Arab get maybe player from Indo, from PA.
Of course. I think there is already some investment in having a lot of players from Southeast Asia, like Team Falcons already having some players. But I see other teams are already doing the same moves. They ask me already, please tell us who is the best coaches there, who is the best players. So there is an interest around this region as it's honestly performing the best when it comes to Mobile Legends. But hopefully MENA would also compete in there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any chance that Saudi Arabia teams collab with another teams from maybe the big
Of course.
Indo and PH, like RQ maybe?
Of course, they already started to partner with global teams. And I think this region have a lot of talents, great clubs, great teams. And I think as soon as we do the right introduction, it's going to be natural to do it together. They will do it.
Thank you.